The Hobart C44A is the most efficient and easy-to-use warewasher on the market. Two-button operation and easier cleaning make washing dishes a snap. In the next few minutes, you'll learn how to operate the machine, including setup and proper rack loading. You'll also learn how to properly shut down the C44A and clean the unit when you have completed operation for the day, and how to perform minor troubleshooting procedures. First, the pump intake strainer and overflow tube must be in place. Then install the strainer pans. Next, install the strainer basket into the wash tank. Place the final rinse strainer over the drain in the final rinse pan. Install the upper wash arm, making sure the O-ring and end plugs are in place. Now install the lower wash arm, making sure the O-ring and end plugs are in place. Next, hang the curtains. There are two long curtains and one short curtain. The long curtains are placed at the entrance and discharge ends of the machine. The short curtain is hung just before the final rinse area. A plate on the machine indicates short curtain here. Hang the curtains on the hooks provided. To begin the fill operation, you must first close the drain. The C44A is equipped with an automatic drain closing lever. As you shut the door, the drain is automatically closed. To close the door, lift the door slightly, release the latch, and lower the door. Keep in mind that you can manually close the drain by pushing down the lever. You can now start the machine to begin the fill operation. Press the power switch to on. The machine automatically begins to fill with water after a 5-second delay. The autofill system will automatically turn off the water supply when the tank is full. At the suggested water pressure, it should take about 4 to 6 minutes to fill the tank. The heater automatically turns on when the water level reaches a predetermined level. When the machine is full, the water should reach approximately 1/2 inch below the top of the overflow tube. The Hobart C44A is available in two different settings, a high temperature operation and a low temperature operation. When operating in the high temperature setting, the wash temperature for the wash operation must be a minimum 160 degrees Fahrenheit. Low temperature operation requires a minimum temperature of 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Use the wash cycle temperature gauge to verify proper water temperatures. Once the wash temperature reaches the operating level, you can begin to wash dishes. Make sure the pump intake strainer and overflow tube are in place. Install the strainer pans and strainer basket. Install the final rinse strainer. Install the upper and lower wash arms. Hang the curtains. Close the drain. Turn the power switch on and check wash temperature. Now it's time to check the detergent level in the container. If you have a manual detergent feeder, check with your supervisor for proper instructions. If you have an automatic detergent dispenser, an audible buzzer may sound to let you know the proper amount of detergent is not dispensing into the tank. If you hear the signal, usually a buzzing or beeping sound, check with your supervisor. For either manual or automatic detergent dispensing, always follow the instructions given by your detergent supplier. After the detergent has been added and the water temperature reaches the proper level, turn the motor switch to on. The pump and conveyor motors now begin to run. If the motors do not run, the auto timer may have timed out. To start the motors, push a rack of soiled dishes into the machine. The rack trips a switch at the entrance of the machine, which resets the timer and starts both motors automatically. The timer will automatically turn off the motors following the last rack and the preset period of time. If you are operating with a machine in manual, the pump and conveyor motors run when the motor switch is pressed to start and continue to run until the motor switch or main power switch is turned off. There are several types of racks which are used with the C44A. To ensure proper cleansing, use the correct rack for the items you are washing. To wash dishes, use a peg rack to stand plates and dishes up on edge with the flat surface facing toward you. Silverware should be scattered loosely in a flat-bottomed rack or racked in a silverware basket. Remember, the water and detergent must be able to flow over all the silverware. For best results, soak silverware before running it through the C44A. The optional open-type racks and compartment-type racks can be used for glasses, bowls, and cups. When you finish filling the rack, slide it into the entrance end of the machine. When the rack of dishes is finished, it will move out onto the clean dish table. On high-temperature models, check the final rinse water temperature. As a rack passes through the final rinse zone, the rinse water temperature must read a minimum of 180 degrees, but no more than 210 degrees. The racks of clean dishes should be left to drain and air dry before you unload them. The conveyor dwell switch allows you to stop the conveyor in order to wash heavily soiled dishes for a longer time. When the dish rack reaches the wash chamber, press the conveyor switch to off to stop the conveyor. To start the conveyor again, press the conveyor switch to on. The pump motor continues to operate. It is recommended that the machine be thoroughly cleaned at the end of each working shift, or at least twice daily. To begin the procedure, turn the motor and power switches to off. Next, open the door. Open the drain by lifting the drain lever. Check the upper and lower rinse nozzles for clogging due to lime or solids. Next, remove the lower wash arm. To remove the lower wash arm, slightly lift and disengage the hook from the notch. Rotate the arm away from the notched retainer and pull the entire wash arm assembly out. Now, remove the upper wash arm. Take hold of the upper arm and release the front latch. Rotate the arm slowly downward. Move the arm to the left until the manifold clears the wash pipe. Then lift the arm clear of the hanger brackets. Check the upper and lower wash arm nozzles for clogging. Next, clean off scraps from the machine walls. With the strainer basket and strainer pan still in place, wash debris from the dish tables into the C44A. Remove the strainer basket and strainer pans. Empty them into a trash container or down the disposer, and thoroughly clean them. Next, remove and clean the pump intake strainer and overflow tube. Remove the final rinse pan strainer. Clean out the pan and drain opening in the pan bottom, and clean off the strainer. Now, remove the curtains and thoroughly scrub and rinse them in the sink. Next, thoroughly wash out the interior of the machine with a high-pressure hose. Once the tank is clean, you should replace the pump intake strainer, the overflow tube, strainer pans, the strainer basket, and the final rinse pan strainer. Finally, leave the door open and the curtains removed so the inside of the Warewasher can dry. The C44A is now ready for the next working shift. The C44A Warewasher is designed for easy, trouble-free operation. As an operator, you should be aware that problems may occur when operating this machine. Here are some basic things you should check before calling a service technician. The first problem we will look at is the machine will not run. First, check to see if the inspection door is completely closed. The door is equipped with an interlock switch that stops the machine or prevents it from operating if the door is open. Next, determine if the conveyor is jammed. If the auto timer function was used, check the timer to see if it has expired. Slide a rack into the machine to restart the timer. If the optional table limit switch is used, the switch may be tripped, or the manual overload protector may have tripped on the pump or conveyor motors. Another cause may be a blown fuse or tripped circuit breaker on the main power line. Finally, the control circuit breaker may have tripped. Check with your supervisor if you suspect these to be the problem. The second problem we'll look at is when the dishes do not come out clean. One cause of this could be insufficient wash water due to a drain obstruction preventing a proper drain closing. Completely drain the tank. The obstruction may be flushed down the drain, so you may not find anything. Check for a worn or damaged O-ring on the overflow tube, which could be allowing wash water to drain from the machine. Also, check the upper and lower wash arm O-rings to see if water is leaking at this point. A good O-ring is necessary for a proper drain and wash arm seal. Another cause could be improper spray patterns from the wash arms. Warning, never put any part of your body into the Warewasher while it is operating. A proper spray pattern should look like this in the wash zone. An improper spray pattern could be caused by missing end caps or by a blocked nozzle. If the end plugs are missing, you must replace them. If the wash arm nozzles are clogged, remove the wash arms as explained earlier. Take the wash arm to the sink for cleaning. Remove the end plugs. Using a table knife or a similar object, push the obstruction from the wash arm. Thoroughly flush out the arms in the sink. Replace the end plugs. Then install the wash arms in the machine. You should now have a proper spray pattern. Another possible cause could be a loss of water pressure due to an obstruction in the pump. Disconnect the electrical power supply and place a tag at the disconnect switch to indicate you are working on the circuit. Then drain the tank and check for any obstruction at the pump intake. Incorrect water temperature could be another possible cause. Check the circuit breaker to the electric heat supply or the main steam valve. On steam units, make certain the valve is completely open. The final reason the dishes may not be clean is incorrect detergent dispensing. Contact your detergent representative for instructions. The next problem we'll take a look at is spots on silverware, glasses, and dishes. One cause of this could be an improperly loaded rack. Dishware that is properly loaded enables the water and detergent to flow freely over the dishes. A second cause could be an incorrect final rinse water temperature. Remember, on high-temperature machines, final rinse water must be a minimum of 180 degrees Fahrenheit. Another cause of spotted dishes could be a loss of water pressure due to a pump obstruction. Clogged wash arm or clogged rinse arm nozzles can also be a reason for spots. Follow the procedure already outlined in this video to clear a clogged wash arm nozzle. However, to clear a rinse arm nozzle, take a straightened paper clip and put it into the opening. Unscrew and remove the rinse arm end cap. With the curtains in place and the door closed, run an empty rack through the dishwasher using the normal operating procedure. Excessively hard water or incorrect detergent for your particular water type can also cause spots. The final cause of spotted dishware could be misaligned rinse arms. Both rinse arms should be positioned so that the spray pattern is slightly toward the center of the dishwasher and the alignment pins on the rinse arms and piping are in alignment. The next problem we're going to look at is inadequate rinse. Check first to see if you have a dirty line strainer causing reduced water flow. You may also check the pressure at the supply line. It should be at 20 to 25 pounds per square inch while the rinse water is flowing. Finally, check the rinse nozzles to see if they're clogged. The next problem is when the rinse continues to run. Disconnect the electrical power supply and place a tag at the disconnect switch to indicate you are working on the circuit. First, check the rinse actuator to see if it is moving freely. Check for foreign objects like silverware in the actuator. Finally, the rinse valve could have malfunctioned. Contact your local Hobart authorized service office. If the problem of no wash tank heat occurs, check the following possible causes. Check the tank water level. The machine is equipped with a low water cutoff device which shuts off the heat if the water level drops. The machine should fill to approximately 1/2 inch below the top of the overflow tube. Also, if the machine is equipped with electric heat, check the circuit breaker to the heat system to see if it has tripped. Debris on the float portion of the protector will also prevent the heat source from operating properly. In this case, turn off the motor switch, drain the tank, and remove the debris from the float. Then refill the tank. If the machine is equipped with steam injector or coils, another cause could be that the steam supply valve may not be open completely. And finally, the over-temperature protector may have tripped. If this is the case, contact your local Hobart authorized service office. Now, let's look at the problem of no or slow fill. Check the inspection door to make sure it's closed completely. Check the upper and lower float switches for debris and free movement. Reduced water flow could also be caused by a dirty line strainer. Turn off the water supply, remove the strainer cap, remove and clean the screen, and reassemble. Finally, the fill solenoid valve could have malfunctioned. Contact your local Hobart authorized service office. For additional information regarding troubleshooting, please refer to your C-Line A-Series dishwasher instruction manual. Remember, the Hobart C44A dishwasher is easy to use and easy to maintain if you follow the proper procedures. This concludes the C44A operator video. Please refer to your instruction manual if you have any questions regarding the use or operation of this machine.